Howdy, y'all, and welcome. And happy hump day. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. Let's go ahead and get right on into it here. As you can see, we have what is now a Cat 1 hurricane, which is Ernesto. It made landfall over by Puerto Rico last night and is expected to become a Cat 2 as it makes landfall over by Bermuda as soon as the 17th, which is Saturday morning. So definitely be aware of this if you live out there, by the way. It's not expected to make landfall over by the coast of the Carolinas, but be aware if you're heading out to the beaches this weekend that some dangerous ocean conditions could be possible, and this is expected to potentially make landfall over by Nova Scotia as soon as Monday. So definitely be aware of this up there as well if you live by Oak Island. Looks like you're not going to be finding the Bobby Dazzler anytime soon because of this major hurricane. As we take a look at the HWRF model, we can see that's going to be causing a lot of major problems to Puerto Rico, of course, and then it's going to be turning its way, strengthening into a Cat 2, then a Cat 3 as soon as Friday morning. And that's going to weaken down into Category 2 as it makes landfall over by Bermuda, causing a lot of problems over there, of course, and a lot of problems to the Carolinas as it could be causing a lot of dangerous ocean conditions. And that's going to become a fish storm, and then it's going to churn all the way up into Nova Scotia as soon as Monday, make landfall as a Cat 1. So definitely be aware if you live up by Oak Island, but you're not going to be finding the Bobby Dazzler anytime soon. Now, speaking of hurricanes, they did make revisions to the hurricane forecast as there is going to be only 23 named storms, down from 25, but still going to be 12 major hurricanes with 6 Cat 3 or higher. So definitely looking like the tropics are heating up. And as we can see here in the Atlantic, expecting some activity to occur within the next couple of weeks. And as we take a look at the GFS model, we already know about Ernesto churning up into the Atlantic, becoming a fish storm, affecting Bermuda as soon as Saturday, making landfall over by Nova Scotia by Monday, then getting out of the area and not affecting much of anybody except for those fishes out there, of course. And it's looking like we're going to have some activity to keep an eye on as we head into later next week. So definitely something to keep our eye on, y'all. And did y'all know back in 1953, this day in weather history, we had what was Hurricane Barbara affected North Carolina as a Cat 2, left a lot of damage, of course, $1.3 million worth of damage, and it killed a crew of 2 as a small boat sank. This occurred back in August 13th to 15th of 1953, and surprisingly, we have a Hurricane Ernesto out there. It's not going to affect the Carolinas, but will cause some dangerous ocean conditions, so be aware of that if you're heading out to the beaches this weekend. Don't go out there in those waters, y'all. There's definitely something interesting this day in history, and I will be doing this every day on X and Facebook, so go follow those pages if you all want to know what happened in this day in weather history. I will be doing this in every weather video as well. Now, do we have any more hurricanes forming out there within the next 48 hours? Well, it's not really looking like that's going to happen. We have Ernesto, of course. We already know about that hurricane going on. Going to take a look at the Eastern Pacific, not much out there. Central Pacific, not much there either. So let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of severe weather we got to deal with for the next few days. It's looking like some severe weather is going to start to ramp up as we have a slight risk today. As you can see, Vince, Corey, and Brandon are already out there storm chasing. Go subscribe to those guys if you haven't done so already. You can see we have a slight risk over by Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa. All hazards are going to be possible today with a pretty significant chance for some tornadoes. 5% chance within the slight risk zone and a 2% chance within the marginal risk zone here in the green. Main threats are going to be mainly hail and high winds, as there's a 15% chance within the slight risk zone and a 5% chance within the marginal risk zones. Move off into Thursday, we have a slight risk from eastern Kansas up into southern Wisconsin. All hazards are going to be possible again tomorrow, as a 2% chance has been issued for tornadoes, and a 15% chance for high winds, and a 15% chance for large hail. So mainly the main threats tomorrow are going to be mainly large hail and high winds, with a few small tornadoes possible. Move up into Friday, good old Friday. We have a marginal risk issued from northern Mississippi up into Michigan, and even parts of Canada's in that as well. Now, we do not know what the main hazards are just yet. Go follow my X and Facebook pages, as I will keep y'all informed on there of what the timing and what the hazards will be. Now, other than severe weather, we do have some major flooding to deal with, as there's a slight risk for the next couple of days and a marginal risk on Friday. So definitely be aware of flooded roadways. And if you live in a low-lying area, please be aware of this. Now, I would expect upwards of 1 to 3 inches if you live within the slight risk zones for flooding, and right around 1 to 2 inches if you live within the marginal risk for the next couple of days. So definitely, again, Turn around, don't drown. Live in a low-lying area, please be aware of this. Let's go ahead and get into the timing of when y'all could expect the worst of severe weather. Take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the HRRR model and lower this down to the 12Z run. Keep in mind that here on Hump Day, we have all hazards possible, which includes a significant threat for tornadoes, high winds, and some large hail. And as we push this forward, we see we have some showers and thunderstorms to the early morning hours this morning. Then it's going to start to clear out, destabilize the atmosphere before severe weather is going to start to ramp up by right around 8 o'clock Central through right around midnight is when I would expect the worst of the severe weather to occur within the slight risk zone. As you can see, we're going to have some pretty significant hail by right around 11 o'clock over here southeast of Omaha, Nebraska. As we take a look at what kind of winds we could expect, keep in mind that this area right here is another gun for high winds. Could expect upwards of right around 20 to 40 to 60 to almost 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. Could knock out some power, so be aware of that. And make sure you put up anything you don't want damage from large hail or blowing around from high winds. As we take a look at the significant tornadic parameters, this will show us where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at. We can see at right around 11 o'clock Central Time, right around a 4 out of 10, almost a 5 in some areas could be possible. As we pull up the composite reflectivity, there's going to be some supercells within that area, so some significant tornadoes could be possible. So make sure you have a way to receive alerts and you know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued for your location. Preferably storm shelter, basement, closet, turn your room away from windows. Just make sure you keep as many walls between you and the outside world as possible today. So again, looking like from right around 6 o'clock Central to right around midnight is when I would expect the worst severe weather to occur before some major flooding will occur later tonight. And as we push off into Thursday, we got another slight risk for mainly all hazards, low wind threat for tornadoes, and a pretty significant threat for high winds and some large hail. As we push off into Thursday, got leftover showers and thunderstorms from the severe weather threat on Hump Day. Not going to cause too much problems. Could cause some major flooding and some significant thunder. And it's going to clear out a little bit before some severe weather is going to start to ramp up through the late evening into the overnight hours. From right around 4 o'clock through right around 10 o'clock is when I would expect the worst of severe weather to occur here on Thursday. As we pull up the wind gusts of what y'all could expect, it's looking like upwards of 70 mile per hour wind gusts could be possible tomorrow with any of the storms that roll through. Be aware power outages could occur tomorrow as well. And as we take a look at the significant tornadic parameters, we can see at this time, not off the charts, that's why they only issued a low end threat for tomorrow, but right around 0.3, 0.2 to 0.5. Some areas could get in on a 1.2 out of 10. So definitely know your safety action plan and know where to go when the tornado warning gets issued for your location tomorrow. As it's looking like the worst severe is going to occur from right around 4 o'clock through right around 10, 11 o'clock before it turns into mainly a big old flash flooding threat. And as we push off into good old Friday, we have a marginal risk that we do not know what the timing or hazards will be. But let's go ahead and take a look at the lightning flash density right here on the Euro. Now, the lightning flash density will show us where the most intense storms could fire up. It don't show us approximately what time severe weather will occur, but it does show us where the most intense lightning strikes could occur, which means where the most intense storms could fire up at. Push this to Friday. You can see there's going to be some early morning showers and thunderstorms occurring. So it's looking like this is going to be an early afternoon into potentially an early evening event. Again, I will keep an eye on this on X and Facebook as I do daily weather forecasts on there. So go follow those pages as I will let y'all know what the timing and what hazards y'all could expect. So now let's go ahead and get into the 500 millibar height anomaly map to take a look at what we could expect for the next few weeks. This will show us where the troughs and ridges will be at. We already know going to have some severe weather for the next few days. We have a little low pressure system right here out east, and we have a little low pressure system out west, which could result in a lot of heavy rainfall. And this could also mean some cool conditions out east and cool conditions out west with a major heat dome amongst the central part of the country. And this is going to last for quite some time. And it's looking like we could come into a major heat wave as we head into the end of the month. As we take a look at the actual temperatures, as we take a look at the actual temperatures, we can see that we're going to be dealing with major heat down here in Texas. Feeling sort of like winter up here in the northwest, feeling like fall for really much of the country except for down here by Texas. And as we head into the meat and potatoes of August, we can see heating up amongst the southern half of the country, sort of feeling like fall up here in the northern half, feeling like winter up here by Washington. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a fall-like weather pattern here soon amongst the north central part of the country, and still going to be dealing with major heat down south. Take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We can see that the eastern part of the country is going to be below average, while the western half of the country is going to be below average as well. Now, much of the country is going to be way above average, and as we take a look at the next 8 to 14 days, most of the country is going to be near normal to above average, except for out west. So a fall-like weather pattern is going to be in store as we head into the August 19th to 23rd time frame. But as we head into the 21st and the 27th, it's like major heat wave is going to be making a small return before a fall-like weather pattern is going to be in store. As we can see, the risk of hazardous temperatures, we can see the southern half of the country is going to be dealing with excessive heat from the 21st into the 23rd. Summer ain't over yet, y'all. Fall is right around the corner, so get ready for this if you live amongst the northern half of the country. And as we take a look at the fall outlook, I will have a fall outlook next week sometime. We can see that the 2024 fall outlook has been issued by the Farmer's Almanac. Much of the country is going to be below average as far as precip goes, except for out west and down here in the southeast. But as far as temperatures go, it looks like much of the country is going to be well above average, except for the southeast as well. We could be coming in on an early fall. Now, other than temperatures, take a look at our precipitation pattern for the next couple of weeks. We already know we've got the severe weather going on the next few days, and we got Ernesto churning up into Nova Scotia and causing a lot of flooding and a lot of problems, of course. And it's looking like we could try out here as we head into Tuesday. Could come in some more severe weather up here by the Dakotas by Tuesday as well. And it's looking like the west is going to be pretty soggy, as well as over here by the Ohio Valley. As we take a look at the precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, we can see that much of the central part of the country is going to be below average, while the northwest and northeast is going to be near normal to above average, as well as down here by Florida. Next 8 to 14 days looks just about the same. More of the central half of the country here is going to be below average, while the northwest is still going to be near normal to above average, as well as up here by the northeast and above average down here by Florida. Now, this is possibly due to Ernesto causing a lot of flooding and a lot of problems, of course. So look forward to the rainfall, y'all. Y'all probably need it because of these drought-like conditions. But unfortunately, the central part of the country is going to be drying out, which is not good for those drought-like conditions. If y'all stayed this far in the video, I'd like to thank y'all. I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek at the winter forecast by the Farmer's Almanac. But we'll have my winter outlook up in October sometime. Definitely subscribe for that, y'all. You can see we're going to be coming into a La Nina winter, which means a chilly and wet winter up here in the northwest. Cold and average snowfall for the central part of the country. Cold and wet and white out here in the Ohio Valley. But the south central part of the country is going to be sort of mild. And we're going to be dealing with near to below normal precipitation down here by Texas. Average temperatures and precipitation expected in the southwest. Mild and wet winter down here in the southeast. Mild and wet up here by New York. Sort of mild up here by Maine, but still going to be coming in on a white winter. So if you enjoyed today's weather forecast, please consider hitting that like and share buttons for more folks who are informed about the weather, and also leave me some feedback in the comment section down below, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also consider hitting that subscribe button with bell notifications turned on, because here wins whether we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. So to sum this video up, basically watch out for Ernesto if you live over there by Bermuda. And if you're heading out to the beaches by the Carolinas, please be aware of dangerous ocean conditions. And if you live up there by Nova Scotia, it could affect y'all as soon as Monday, so please be aware of this, as it could make landfall as a Cat 1. Unfortunately, Oak Island's not going to be finding the Bobby Dazzler anytime soon. Now, as we take a look at the lower 48, could be coming in on a cool down up in the north central part of the country. Could be feeling like fall here soon. And if you live down south, could be coming in on a dry and hot weather pattern, unfortunately. In the next video, I will have a fall outlook video up, so look forward to that, y'all, as it's looking like we could be dealing with a pretty cool fall here in the Ohio Valley. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, appreciate y'all for watching, and never stop forecasting.